Hi there. Hi everybody. Can you just give me a heads up if you can hear me all right? Hi Nolene, hi Shauna, hi Claire. Can everybody hear me all right? Hi Hyacinth, hi Claire. Hello Alison. Welcome everybody. I am just checking on this lovely end to make sure that we're all good and that you can hear me. Barbara, you can hear me all right, can you? Hi Geraldine, lovely to see you Geraldine. Hi Fidelma, hi gorgeous. So tell me, Shauna Bray, can you tell me, can you hear me? Hi Karen, hi Trisha. So just let everybody, I think there's over 100 people. Oh good Mags, good. I think there's over nearly 100 people anyway. I'm just going to check, if you see me glancing sideways, I've actually got my computer up and running here, so I'm just going to double check that the live feed is on here, can see it, and we're going. Hi Paul, hi welcome. Oh perfect, good Trisha. Sound and the quality of the video and all good, okay? I'm just going to double check. Yeah, it looks to be live. Okay, perfect. Brilliant Barbara, brilliant. Okay, hi Maria, how are you? Good to see you here. Hi Joanne. Joanne, you'll be sick of me. Karen, I'd say, I'm delighted to see you. Delighted. For Michelle and Joanne, this is all refresher stuff. Hi Michaela. Yous have done all of this inside out and back to front. You'll be able to teach it soon. Michelle Boyle, never mind coming on here. Hi Fidelma. So, perfect. Okay, are we all ready to get going? Because I'm going to get divorced Sunday night. When I said to my husband it was going to be a Sunday night and that I'm going to do a live video and I'm going to do it at 9 o'clock, I wasn't too impressed. So all of the Waynes have gone to the other side of the house, and I have railroaded the kitchen so that everybody had to have supper, and nobody's happy at all with me tonight. So let's get going so that we can get this wrapped up. And I'm sure that you have all things to do as well. You don't want to be hanging around with me for too long tonight. So can you start by telling me, if you can kind of type into the chat, what do you want most? Where are you with it? Are you in the I don't know what I want, or are you in the I keep stopping what I do want, I keep sabotaging myself, or are you in the all of this noise, all of this limiting beliefs, all of this rubbish? I keep hearing all of this rubbish inside myself. I keep hearing all this difficulty inside myself. Are you there? So if one was, I haven't got a clue what I want and I seem really stuck, then type in 1. If 2 is, no, I'm happy and I know where I want, but you know, there's some difficulty, there's some noise, there's stuff holding me back, and I keep kind of self-sabotaging myself from going to the next level. Brilliant, Karen. Karen doesn't know what she wants, she just wants more. Karen, oh Karen, I love working with you. Yeah, so if you don't know what you want, type in 1. If you know what you want but just don't know how to bloody get it, type in 2. And if you're stuck in some limiting beliefs around knowing what you want, and you can't seem to actually switch them off, type 3. Brilliant. So you're a 3, Alison. Alison saying self-talk. So don't be afraid. This is a private Facebook group, guys. Nobody can see bar the people that are in this group. So this doesn't go out down the main feed or anything like that. It's a closed Facebook group. So you're okay. You're okay just to kind of say 2, self-sabotage. Brilliant, Cheryl. 2. Look at all the 2. So you know what you want, Cheryl. You know what you want. You know what you want. Brilliant, Maria. So self-sabotage and limitations. Brilliant. Okay. So everybody kind of seems to know what they want, but are kind of stuck on 2 and 3. It helps me. Look, I have lots of content. I could keep you here to 12 o'clock tonight, which I know you all don't want to do that. But it helps me to understand where you are at. It helps me to give more a more clear idea. There's some people also saying that they're still in 1, so we're going to go through some of the stuff. So 2 and 3, brilliant. Leona, 2 and 3, brilliant. Okay, so you know what you want, but you just don't know how to get it, and you just don't know how to prepare yourself and prepare yourself for greatness. Perfect, let's go. All right, does that sound good? Okay, so a lot of what I'm going to do tonight is going to walk you through the kind of, what I see is the kind of main sticking points, and all, not even the main sticking points, but what I see is the main route to getting there. Hi Brona, good to see you. Now, and I'm going to give you some information. I'm going to give you how to, but I'm also going to, if this is okay, I'm also going to give you kind of the reality of it, because this is reality, isn't it? Like, I'm not going to give you stuff that's not. I'm not going to give you stuff that's going to leave you kind of highfalutin and not knowing what to do with. This is real practical psychology that if you apply even some of the small stuff, you will see a big difference tomorrow and the next day and the next day after that. I'm going to give you small tips and techniques, but I'm also going to show you where I've been stuck and how I have managed to push myself forward. And what I am giving you actually is what I learned myself on this journey, in getting to where I've got to, and hopefully, you know, moving beyond that. And ultimately, before we begin, I do want to say that success is what your success is. It isn't somebody else's view of it. So if success is earning enough money to be able to put a roof over your children's heads and have a nice Christmas, then that's what success is to you. So whatever success looks like to you, when I'm talking about success, I'm not talking about some grandiose version of it. I'm not talking about anything that's not authentic to you. And that's kind of where we start. What I've learned is that there's these few steps. There's the what in life. And all of these steps will be related specifically to you, to the person that you are. They're not generic steps, and I'm going to be asking you some hard questions that you have to answer yourself, that nobody on this planet, no matter how good they are at their job, no matter how good a coach they are, will be able to answer these or give you this advice, because it's you that has to tap into yourself tonight. Now, does that make any sense before we begin? Because I'm not coming at this from a guru place where I'm going to tell you. I'm going to show you the steps I've taken. I'm going to ask you some questions and get you to tap into it and yourself. Hi Carmel, lovely to see you. And all I'm asking is that you open up your mind enough to understand yourself and do what it is you need to do with some of the tips and techniques. So the first step is what. Okay, we all have to have a what. We all have to have a direction. Every one of us has to have a what. And if we don't have a what, we can be running in circles. We can be catching our tails. If we don't have a what happens is whats are always cognitive exercises. And people tap into, I think I'll do this, I think I'll do that, I think I'll do this. You see it all over this industry particularly, where people are running, trying to find the next thing to do, the next thing to do, the next thing to do, the next thing to do. And that what creates a lot of discontent in the self. So what I'm going to do is we're going to tap into your what, not my what or what I think is a good idea, your what, and we'll go talk about that in a wee bit of detail. Then we're going to talk about the why, the what and the why. Your what and your why are so vital. Have any of you heard and asked yourself any of your whats and your whys before? Is this new to you? Or just like give me a thumbs up if this is new, and if it's not, then don't do anything. Just give me a thumbs up, because I'd like to know if this is new. So what and why is the first things, and then the how, because I think the how is massive. Now the how has lots and lots of difficult stuff on it, because you can know what and you can know why you want what you want. But it can be very difficult to get there. The how can be incredibly difficult, because the how is laden with both practical problems, and the how is also laden with psychological problems. Now I'm going to speak to that as we go through. So you can have your what and you can have your how, and they're all good. Or sorry, you can have your what and you can have your why, and they're all brilliant. But your how is kind of the most important part. But this is like anything, this is building blocks. So the questions that I have for you on each of these are in order to build a good foundation for you. So in the how, we'll want to be looking at self-sabotage. We'll be wanting to look at limiting beliefs that you're holding for yourself, because they will block your how, no matter how strong your what is and no matter how strong your why is. They will block it for sure. They will absolutely derail it. And we want to look at that tonight as well. And then what we want to do then is kind of look at getting traction, because I want to show you how, if you have your what and your why right, then how you can unblock your how on a continuous basis. Because let's be real about this, right? This isn't about unblocking your how this isn't about unblocking your how on one time. Like, you're constantly unblocking your how. Does that make sense to anybody? Like, it's not as if you unblock one limiting belief or unblock one difficult challenge and then your what comes into play. It's a continual basis. And I think once you understand that there's no kind of magic fairy dust here, there's nothing kind of like magical about this. It's actually very practical. Once you understand that, it means that you just don't throw your hands in the air once the next difficulty comes up and goes, oh, this is never meant to be, this is a sign that it's not right, all that stuff. That we actually really make this practical. Give me a thumbs up or a heart if that makes any sense to you. That'd be great. And we'll get started with a what. So let me know if these are all ready to go. Has anybody any questions thus far? Let me know. These are a very quiet group now. And there's a few ladies in here I know that aren't quiet. Isn't that right, Bruna? And Leona. Okay, right. Brilliant. So what? Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Okay, we're starting to interact now. What do you want for yourself? Now, I don't want you to answer this at a thought-based level first. Go and answer this at a feeling level for me. What do you want to feel every day? What is it that you would like to feel on a day-to-day basis? Oh, Brony, you couldn't have came here, not got a mention. What do you want to feel? What is life? What do you want life to feel like? Now, there's a method in my madness, right? And I want you just to play the game with me. I know a lot of us have done this at a cognitive level, and I'm asking you to do it at a different level tonight. What is it that you want to feel on a day-to-day basis? How do you want your life to feel? How do you want to get up in the morning feeling? How do you want to go to bed at night feeling? And good isn't good enough. Energized, passionate, purposeful. I want some of those fulfilled, Alison. Absolutely. Fabulous, Karen. Supported. Brilliant. Fantastic. Happy. Brilliant. So there's the starting block. There is your starting block. So what do you need to do? What do you need to be? What do you need to do for your life in order to get that started? Where do you need to be? What do you need to be doing? Who do you need to be doing it with? Now we're starting to ask some questions. Fulfilled with purpose, Maria. Brilliant. It's all about being fulfilled, which is what I was saying earlier, that this is nobody else's version of success. It's yours. What does fulfilled mean to you, Maria? What does content mean? What does content, passionate and happy mean? What does that mean? What does that look like on a practical basis? Where are you? Who are you doing it with? Let's keep it clean, guys and girls. Where are you? What are you doing and who are you doing it with? What is the ideal? Can we have some pictures of that? Now, that's just the kind of to get your fires burning, to get your emotional world moving. And as we move into that notion of the felt sense, we can start to feel the energy kind of even shifting as we're even mentioning how we want to feel. Because when you come at it from a feeling base first, then the world is your oyster. When you come at this from a head base, what do I want? I want to be a millionaire. Then what happens is then all of these kind of negative thoughts start to penetrate that original thought. And this is what's so important. I'm asking you from a feeling place, what is it you want? And that is brilliant, content and thankful. Absolutely, Tricia. So that's massive. So we start from the feeling place. We want contentment, we want fulfillment, somebody wanted to be energized, Nolene wants to be happy. How does that happen? What is that need to be? How do you get that? And most of us kind of think about the main pillars in life: spirituality pillar, the work pillar, the family life pillar. We look at all of these pillars in life and ask ourselves, well, what do we want in each of them? But I think it would be fair, and I would like some feedback on this, I think it would be fair to say that most of us know that work and the work that we do provides a lot of that fulfillment, provides a lot of that energetic connection, provides a lot of the contentment, provides a lot of that stuff. And that it might be a small part of it, but getting that right, getting that work part right, or getting that, and maybe you don't have to work. Like I did this boot camp and there was somebody who didn't have to work but was feeling like discontented, feeling unenergized, because maybe it's not paid work, maybe it's something that you're giving your time to, giving your energy to. So what I would like to ask you then at a cognitive level, is everybody following it first, and does anybody have any questions? I'm going to give you time to catch up there. Balance, absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to talk about balance actually, Julie, because I have a few tips and techniques for balance for you as well, and I have a few questions for you on balance. But are everybody okay so far? Everybody getting the feel of it? Yeah, perfect. Okay, brilliant. Anybody any questions? Fire away. Okay. The one thing that I found about what do I want, was this. I knew that I wanted to work for myself. I knew a long time ago. I knew from I was very, very young. I knew from I was probably in my early teens that I wanted to work for myself. And I came up with many harebrained ideas for business. And none of them got off the ground. Not one of them. Thank God. Because what was happening was that I was the me that I am, and I am ambitious, and I'm driven, and I'm energetic, and I'm all of that stuff. But that part of me was driving a cognitive exercise, if it makes any sense. I knew what I wanted, but I was coming up with these great ideas for business, but I never, until I married me with the what. Now, what does that mean? Who am I as a person? What do I know? What are my skills? What are my abilities? What is my loves? What keeps me in flow? What gets me up in the morning? What makes me feel like I'm adding to this world? Who am I, and what am I here to do? What service am I here to be? When I started asking myself those different questions, then what happened was amazing. Now tell me if that makes sense. Because we're coming from a feeling basis of what we want, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to keep these out of your heads. Because you can be driven, you can want love and connection, you can want fulfillment, you can want purpose. But if you come from a head place and looking for this purpose, you'll run ragged around yourself. And what I want you to be able to do is actually ask questions of yourself. Who are you? What are you here to do? When are you in flow? Does anybody know what flow is? They've heard of flow loads, I'm sure. Flow is in this place where time stops and nothing matters, and you're in this place of just alignment, where it feels like there's nobody and nothing else. When I'm working one-to-one, I'm very, very, very seldomly interrupted by outside influences. Very seldomly. I'm always in flow, I'm always in the room, I'm always with whatever's happening. And to me, that's a really beautiful place to be, and it's an amazing place to be. There's no doubt about it. So that for me is flow. Now you can get flow anywhere. It doesn't have to be being of service. Flow can come from it. I know people get flow from artistry. I know people that can get flow from writing. I know people get flow. So when are you at your living best? And the comments below. When do you feel alive? When do you feel like There is no stopping you. When do you feel like you could do this all day, every day, and payment wouldn't be a problem? When are you in flow? And what skills do you have? And what qualities do you have that you know that you're hiding? That you know that the fullness of who you are is not yet on display. Now what we're doing here is we're tapping into self. We're tapping into your authenticity. You're brilliant, Michelle. Michelle is a hypnotherapist, and Michelle's saying when she's working one-to-one, she's in flow. Brilliant, Michelle. More of that this year, please. You're in flow with people who love you. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So, there is what I'm asking you. Now, Sharon, now we're talking. Sharon's saying when I'm helping people, I'm in flow. Now we're starting to tap in, because here's what happens. If you work out of your head, you don't get that energetic alignment with yourself, with your own, fulfilling your own spirit, fulfilling your own self. You don't get that energetic alignment, and everything stops. Everything's sticky. Everything's icky. Everything feels like you're pushing something up a bloody mountain. Believe me, I've pushed hundreds of things up mountains that have never been there. Helping people, Sharon, brilliant. Look at the many helpers on here, but that's what the word's all about. Brilliant, Paul, helping. Fantastic. So that is my question to you. Don't go for the cognitive what, and everybody knows what I mean by the cognitive what. Don't go for the cognitive what until you've the emotional what sorted, and then until you have the who you are what. What am I? What am I here to do? What would I love to do? What would I do and it wouldn't cost me a thought? What would I do and it wouldn't feel like work? This doesn't feel like work. We've just had friends that called. I don't know if you can see maybe the glass of wine's behind us. And I was saying I had to work tonight, and they're looking at me like I am crazy on a Sunday night. But this doesn't feel like work to me. It honestly doesn't. So what would you be doing that wouldn't feel like work? Using your own skills, using your own qualities, using your own brilliance, because we're all brilliant in our own way. Every one of you are brilliant in your own way. Every one of you have something to offer. Like there's thousands of therapists, thousands of coaches, and they're all extraordinarily brilliant in their own unique way, as long as they've tapped into that uniqueness and are authentic in that uniqueness. Because what I have found happens is, see, Maria's just saying she's in flow when she's given reflexology and goes for it. Brilliant, Maria. There we are. You're in flow in that place. And I'm sure there's many more other places that you're in flow when you're being of service, because that's what that sounds like to me. And Julie, encouraging people to reach their potential. So like in a coaching environment, Julie. Brilliant. Fantastic. So what I would like to ask you then is the final question for what? I would like to ask you, what, if anything was possible? If anything was possible, what would you be doing? And who would you be doing it with? If there's no limitations, if there's no difficulties, if there's no mortgages to pay, if there's no bankruptcies to worry about, if there's none of that, what would you be doing? Now, I had the very fortunate opportunity of living in Dubai for a year. Not so fortunate for the husband, I have to say, but anyway, it's another story. And these were the questions. These were my questions. And it felt like these questions were, and this is about, I don't know how long we're home now. We're home 4 years, 5 years now. And this is where the Wellness Seeker was born out of. All of these deep-rooted questions of self. Could have been 100 things that I could have done after I come back from Dubai. And I had trained as a therapist. I had trained as a person-centered psychotherapist for about 5 years. And I knew I didn't want to go back into the system. I knew I didn't want that. If I stayed stuck in what I didn't want, I couldn't get into the feeling of what I did want, and that was brilliant. Now, look, we're starting to click in. Okay, Christine, how are you? So we're starting to click in here, which is brilliant, fantastic. So that's your what, and I want you to ask that. Brilliant, helping people. What's a PMA, Tricia? Helping people get a PMA. I don't know what a PMA. I would love that. I'd love to understand that, Tricia. That would be brilliant. Okay, so there, working with children, Leona. Yes. Yep, brilliant, happy days. You see that flow that's on me there when I see people really excited. I know I do an awful lot of healing work, but this work here, this coaching work, this potential work is brilliant. Sharon, absolutely. Having your own business and helping children with their emotions. Look at that. Julie, I love that. Julie says, I'd be working in the heart of the community, opening doors for people. Look at that. Oh, positive mental attitude. Sorry, Tricia. You think I'd know that, eh? Brilliant. Okay, so the next part now is the why. Alright, because I'm conscious of time. We're half an hour on now. We've only one done. We need to move or be here to 12 o'clock. So why? So why is the why so important? Right? The why is vitally important because you're going to be stuck hearing this all night, right? But so much of what we do from our heads. And when we do from our heads, because we think that it's the right thing to do, it's not accompanied by a feeling. It's not accompanied by a good feeling. Is there anybody here working at the minute? And I'm not asking you to say yes. I just want you to reflect on it. Is there anybody here working at something at the minute and they just don't like it, but they feel compelled to do it? That feeling. When you have something that you know that you've done or you're doing, but you're just not aligned with it. And it feels icky and it feels sticky and it feels like you have to because it keeps the money coming, it keeps the thing coming over your head. You know that kind of, you're doing it because you have to, because it's what you've always done. You're doing it because you have to kind of make ends meet. But you just can't do it and you can't get motivated for it and you can't do. I'll give you an example of what I mean. My big weakness, right? I have huge weakness around paperwork. Massive, right? And I have a huge difficulty. It's a real strong difficulty with anything organisational. I don't know what it is. It's just awful. And when I go to do, or when that, like tax things, and I can't even say the word, that's how icky it is. I can't even say the word tax return and pay slips and stuff like that. I get into this real, like it happened today because we're trying to get tax returns sorted. I get into this place. I wish it was just not a fire in my belly. I actually could cry. I started kind of going on like a 2-year-old, like complaining and crying and throwing me dummy out of the pram and wanting to drink red wine. I'm not kidding you. Like that's how it kind of just makes me icky and yucky. And simply, I have no affinity with it. I hate it. I feel like it's a waste of time. I feel like it's awful. So, could you, Alison? That would be brilliant. And what happens is I take no action. 0 action until I'm forced to take action. That is what procrastination is. So I get into this icky and sticky place of feeling, hitting what I'm doing. I do nothing, I get nowhere, and then I be really hard on myself for getting into that cycle. Is that, give me a heart if that makes, I need a peak more than a bloody PA, Cheryl, I'll tell you. Does that make any sense? Is that kind of a thumbs up for that, a heart? Does that make sense? See when our why, when our what and our why aren't aligned, it gets icky and sticky. It gets like beyond bearable. And then there's no energy for the niceness. Then there's no energy for the loveliness. Then there's no energy for the greatness. Then there's no energy for the research. Yes, look at them for hearts, look. Would you, Jacqueline? Jacqueline saying she'd love to organise for a living. Well, dear Jesus, Jacqueline, I'd love you to organise me, I'll tell you that. It gets icky and sticky then whenever you're not aligned with a why. When your what is a cognitive exercise and it doesn't light the fire in your belly, there's no action. 0, zilch, nothing. And no matter how big your what is, it ain't going to happen. Because for anything of this level, this magnitude, this change that is required, it needs energy, it needs a feeling energy. Because what happens is, and this is where kind of popular psychology has got a wee bit back about this. I was going to say something else, but on that, it's a Sunday evening, I'm trying to be good. Where that is a problem is that we think we can think our way into positive action. We cannot. When we have to feel our way into positive action, which is why your why has to be strong. Now let me clear that up again, right? My why for Wellness Seeker is that I wanted to show and teach people that real healing, when I say real healing, I mean real authentic healing is possible. I just didn't want to talk about it. I wanted to show them. I wanted to show them how I get out of panic, how I get out of panic attacks, how I get out of anxiety, how I get out of depression, how I get out of a difficult childhood, how I was the 1% that got out of the community that they were born in and made a better life. Now, am I any better for being out of that community? No, I'm not any better. I'm the same as everybody else. I'm the same person. But I've just made different decisions. That's all it is. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to show people how. That they didn't have to live in that pain. That they didn't have to live in that difficulty. That they could find their what and their why and their how and make life better for themselves. But primarily, they could do that by getting out of the pain that they were in, out of the difficulties that they were in. That was my why. And I'm going to be honest with you, sometimes my why gets lost. Sometimes my why gets lost whenever I'm working with Invest NI and they have all these business plans and this is happening and that's happening and this is happening. And what I have to do is I have to come back to my why all the time, every time. If something feels out of alignment for me, I have to go back. And I'll let you in on this as well. I used to run anxiety courses. I used to run weekend anxiety courses. And my why was so strong. My why is showing people how to get out. And I felt that the integrity of those classes didn't meet my why. I felt that I wasn't doing enough, that I wasn't given the opportunity over a weekend. It wasn't fair on the people that had signed up for the courses. I didn't think what I did was good enough, and I didn't think what I did was aligned to my why. Now, was that an easy decision? No, it wasn't, but was it a good decision? It absolutely was. It was a good decision. And what happened was, it felt easier, it felt free-flowing, it felt better, and I went back to my what. What do I want to do? How do I want to feel? And that's all. If you get nothing out of this wee masterclass, that's all I want you to know. What do you want? And can you align it with a feeling that is powerful, that you will take any action needed and required to get where you need to get to? Because if it's not tapping into your why, which I asked you at the beginning, what do you want? Why do you want it? Why do you want what you want? Why, Patricia, do you want to have a new word now for me, PMA? Why do you want to help people with a PMA? What's your why? So, Maria, what's your why? Brona, what's your why? Karen, what's your why? Why do you want to do what you want to do? What is your why? Shauna Bray, what's your why? Why do you want to help people in the performing arts? Why? So words, Leona, why do you want to help children? Why do you want to work with children? Because now we're taking the what we want to feel like, what we want to be like, what we want to experience in this world, and we're sitting underneath it with our why. Why do I want that? Because see, when your why is strong, that what will happen. When your why isn't strong, that what becomes wobbly. Because there's not enough energy at a feeling level to drive what you need in the how to create all of that. Now tell me, does that make any sense, or did I go too fast? Come back to me and let me know, does that make any sense? Did I go too fast for you? Have I lost you? Everybody's very quiet. Have I lost you? Oh no, we're still there. I thought I lost you all there. Shauna Bray, how's the sound and the quality? All still okay? Yeah, So ask your what. Brilliant, Trisha. Brilliant. Brilliant. So your why is vital, absolutely vital. You have to attach your why in to that what, or you're not going to get out of the blocks. You're really not. And every time I go to do a new program, every time, like we try to sit down and write, I'm writing a book at the minute, but I tried to write this book twice. And the first time it was a cognitive exercise, and sometimes you don't come back into yourself, and if you're, even I know what I know, but I don't do what I bloody say I do half the time, and you have to kind of keep coming back to yourself. It's the reality of being a bloody human being too, isn't it? Brilliant, Maria. Maria's saying, perfect. I want people to have what I didn't have at a time when I needed it the most. So you want to help, and you want people to feel supported. That's what that sounds like to me, Maria. Brilliant why. And there's why you're in flow when you're in reflexology. There's the tie. There's the what, there's the why, there's the tie. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So I want you to tap into your why. Your why will drive your what. All day, every day, all day long. Now, see when I give my personal examples, is that helpful or does that hinder you? Let me know. Because I don't want to clog this with my rubbish. I only ever give you me if it's important or if it's helpful to you. It's the what that I'm stuck on. Yeah. Yes, Brona. Yeah, we have to find out your what. Absolutely. Yeah. Brilliant. Okay. Brilliant. So that's the what and that's the why. And now the how. Now this is where the how starts to diverge, right? The how starts to diverge into two separate places, which becomes kind of stage 4 and stage 5. Right. So the how, good, okay, as long as it's helpful to you, because I wouldn't want to be rabbiting on about my own self. So, okay, now, the how now becomes practical, right? So, the how now is, so I know what I want, I know why I want it. So I'll give you my example, right? I know what I want. I know I want to work on my own. I know I don't want to work in the trust. I know I don't want to work in an organisation. I know I don't want to work in charity. I know I want a commercial enterprise. And I know I want to help. And I know I want to inform. And I know I want to inspire. And I know I want to teach. And I know I want to show people what I do. No. That's me what. And then my why is because I don't want anybody to suffer. Kind of what Maria was saying, the way I've suffered it. I don't want anybody to stay in that long of anxiety, or, I would like to show them that it's possible not to give up, that no matter what the system's telling them, there's a different way. There's the why. Attaches on right like that. So how the bloody hell do I do this? Then, that is when all the noise starts. Is there anybody in the how stage? That's when all the noise starts, isn't it? That's when all the practical stuff starts to come in. That's when all of the, where would I get an office? Who would be my client? Who would come and see me? Nobody knows me. How do you do this? Now, see this first practical how? The practicality of the how, of the what. So this is what I want. How do you get it? And it doesn't matter if it's work related. It can be personal related. It doesn't matter. The steps are the same. The steps are the same for no matter what pillar you're trying to master. Master relationships. You're trying to master your spiritual practice. You're trying to master wherever it is. Joanne Nash, tell me what you don't know where you're starting. Do I see where that is there? Do we see what you mean by that? I can't get beyond why. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So that's the scary bit, Alison. It is. It absolutely is the scary bit. It's the bit that kind of derails everybody. But here's what happens, right? I'm going to hope no. Is anybody offended by difficult language? Is anybody? Give me a thumbs up if you're offended by difficult language, or put your hands over your ears. This is where we get it all arse about fists. You go for the practical how first, okay? And that's actually all right. But what happens is, this is when all the self-sabotage comes. This is whenever all of the whispers come. The, no, you can't get it. It's not going to happen. No, you're fucked. You're bit. That's when all this difficulty starts. And all of this, you're rubbish and you're shite and who's going to believe ye and and all of that, like really nasty language starts whispering to you. Now what I want you to do for me, right, is I want you to be able to, when you're going to your how, I want you to think about it and like get a sheet and write down the middle, the practical how and the psychological how, right? And see the practical how. Do you see if your why is strong enough? And see if your what is aligned with your authentic self? That practical how, like how do I get a Facebook page started? How do I, and Shauna Mellon Bates, if you're on here, you'll be listening to this. How do I even register? How do I get an office? How do I get staff? How do I get my message across? What platform do you do? That's all the practical hows that are driving the authentic self, that are driving the message, that are driving the reality. They're all the practical stuff. If your why and what is strong, that will kick in like that. You will sit up all night, which I've done. You wouldn't believe the money that I've spent on coaches, top coaches in America. And I mean, I've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds that I did not have. Because that what and that why were so bloody strong, there was nothing stopping me. There was times my husband would have to come down, take the computer out of me bed. All right, Joanne, okay. Joanne's answering my question. That's all right, Joanne. I'll keep away on that one. There's times my husband would have to come down, take my computer off me and say, go to bed, stop now, right? That's enough now, stop. I was so driven. But it's not because I'm more driven than anybody else. It's not because I'm different. It's not because I am ordinary like you. It's because my what and my why were so strong that this was happening. This was happening. And I don't know if you saw today, there's a post on the page. We just put in a new studio, we put in new desks, because we're moving in that direction. And that is just sheer what and why driving the entire thing. See, I get lost. Where were we? So yes, the how, the practical how. Yeah, the physical how will take care of itself, girls, right? And boys. It will take care of itself if your what and your why is aligned. Okay? So, yes, figuring out where to start. Start small, start often. Start from your what, start from your how, start building out the dream. Build out the dream and all things will follow below that. So if you know what you want, then you're going to then start to know what you need to do and the first steps. I'm going to say these two words, right? Anybody that's building out something at the minute, micro and macro. Now for all the girls that are inside the coaching group, you will understand this in good time. Macro and micro, right? So when you're working out your practical stuff, when you're working out your practical how, work in macro and micro. So macro is the big stuff, and then over every macro goal, you then work in micro goals. So big goal, small micro movements to get that goal sorted. So macro and micro will help the practical element of your how. Does that make sense to you? If you pens and papers, you writing down. Maybe that's not even useful. Let me know if that macro and micro is useful, because that's how you get started, Joanne. You start there. You start with your what, you start with your how, or you start with your why, and then you go into your how and you do macro and micro, and that's vital, really, really vital at the practical element of it. Now, here's what happens, right? And I would suggest that you do the practical part first, right? Because the practical part will allow you to listen for the psychological part. Does that make sense? So, the practical part, when you start to write down your macro, right, which is own business, when you start to write down your macro, which is helping in the community, you start to write down your macro, which is Good, Maria. You start to write down your macro. Where are we? Oh, Jesus, it's 10 to 10. We need to move. Right. When you start to write down your macro, here's what happens, right? This is the brilliant stuff, right? When you start to write down your macro, then you do all your micros. Then, what I would love you to do is I'd love you to hear the whispers. Yeah? The whispers that come that say it's going to fail. That say you're shite. And you know you're shite and it's never going to work. That says, but what about her? She's doing that already. Or what about him? He's already doing that. You can't do that either. Then what I want you to do is I want you to become so acquainted with those whispers, because this is the next step in the journey. Those whispers are your life lessons. They are your growth lessons. Yeah? They are what is here to help you grow. They are what's here to cultivate that real self that needs to grow more and to be in who you are in order to be the service that you know. I'm going to say that again. Did that make any sense to anybody? Those whispers, yeah, that are pushing down the macros and the micros are really only the energy or the universes or the God or whatever way you want to put this way of helping you grow into a better and bigger version of yourself so that you can be a better version in this world and do what you need to do. Whatever that doing is, it's going to be of help to somebody else, whether you're an artist, whether you're a writer, whether you're helping children, whether you're helping, it doesn't matter. You are of service. It doesn't matter. You are given unto this world. And when these whispers come, when these limitations, when these limiting beliefs, they are but mere lessons. And what I would love for you to do tonight is to be of witness to them instead of believing them or running and hiding them. Now, why? Why do I want you to be of witness to them? Because being of witness to them does something really dramatic. I want you to witness them as a limiting belief, as a lessons. And I want you to see them. Now, see, if you see them as a lesson, here's what happens. Separation. Separation from the belief, as a truth. Now, that is only, and we don't have enough time tonight. I would literally be here to the wee hours in the morning if I started about limiting beliefs. But limiting beliefs, if you can see them as lessons, if you can see them as your lessons in growth, and if you can use them to your advantage, those whispers have always put you off. Yes, Julie, please listen to them. Don't believe them, but listen to them and undo them. So when you start to hear what it's saying, which is that you're rubbish, that you're useless, that nobody's ever going to believe you. Like, I had great fears. In fact, I don't know if some people know this. My what, right? And my want, my what and my why was so strong. I was driven that I actually 3 years ago went to Invest NI with a business proposal for the Wellness Seeker. But I had nothing to do with it, right? I was going to get all of these brilliant people around Northern Ireland, right, to give me their tips and techniques for wellness. No, I'm not joking, right? Because I was so petrified of telling people what I knew. I was so petrified of being seen. I was so petrified of being visible. I know that's hard to believe. I'm not lying when I say this. I was so petrified of being visible. I was petrified that I would be seen in a different light than everybody that knew me. I was putting my family at risk. I was putting my community, when I say community, the people that I love dearly, my friends, like, I was going to do something that they didn't know me for, that they only knew I worked in Miss Selfridge. They didn't know any of this stuff existed in me. It was such a risk. And it was petrifying. It was absolutely petrifying. But listening to it, listening to the who would believe you, listening to the who are you, Listening to there's hundreds of coaches and what have you got? Listening to that was the best thing I ever did, because listening to that brought me back to myself. Listening to that brought me back to my why, to my authentic self. And this was never about anybody else, and it was never about any other coach, and it was never about what anybody else was doing. All I could do was be authentic, and that was kept. And every time I listened to those whispers, I kept trying to be more authentic and more authentic and more authentic, and then I built this business. So the whispers are part of your healing journey, part of your pulling out of your greatness. And this is a famous quote, and I always say it. And when I'm coaching the girls in the academy, because I see some of them on here, and the Wellness Seeker Academy, which is different from the mentoring group, but the academy girls that are training to be life coaches at the minute, when I'm working with them, I'm always saying to them, every level of your life demands a different you. Every level of your life, and I am now being demanded upon at the moment. And it's not like you get a what and a why and a how and then it stops. No, then you go again, then you grow again, and every time you grow, you come up against these limitations. But my message to you tonight is use your limitations to your advantage. I know it's easier said than done, and I have loads of proper videos that I'll put in this group when I'm done. How to deal with a limiting belief, how to eliminate a limiting belief, how do you move past the limiting beliefs. So there's loads and loads of practical things that you can do to get past them. But the first thing and the biggest thing that you can do is to listen to them. Listen to them and not let them absolutely annihilate you. Not let them run. See them, hear the whispers, say, oh, what are you saying today? Like the girls in the academy, we have some laugh, because as they're growing, I'm growing with them too. And there's never a dull moment. There is never anybody without a limiting belief or a whisper and there's breakthroughs that we get together in these groups are unreal. I mean, Julie will tell you, the breakthroughs it's life transformational stuff. But why? Because we listen to we listen to the whispers as a untruth first. Shauna knows Shauna's in the academy, and you know listening to your limitations, listening to the whispers actually stops them. Yeah, Julia, no, try listening to them. And I will put in some stuff on here. So Brona's saying, facing the whispers head on helped her realise how ridiculous they were. I can't read the rest of your comment, Brona, sorry. But they'd be ridiculous. And then you move on, and then you stop them stopping you, and then what you do is you use them for stepping stones. You use them just for stepping stones. They become something, excuse me, I have the hiccups. They become something then that the foundation of where you're going and what you're doing is built upon. Now that is easier said than done, I get that, and I am not, I'm a realist, and I'm also very practical, but you need to understand how to undo them, and I'll drop a video or two on here to teach you how to undo them, so don't worry about that. But we've only got an hour and 15 tonight, so I can't go on to it in too much detail. But the one thing that I would say to you, yes, Julie, that's your challenge this week, is use them, listen to them. And if you listen to them and know that they're just lessons, you'll not become attached to the thoughts and the feelings of them, and then you can get out. And that's what I would say. Most of the problems with those whispers are that we attach ourselves to them, that we believe them. Now, if they're core wounds, they can be harder to get out of. And I'll actually drop another video on here because it's too much to go into. A core wound is very different from a whisper. A core wound is the one that, a whisper is, are you good enough? Have you got enough? Those, and you can normally get away from them quicker, but a core feeling is maybe the fear of failure. They'll be unique to you. Your core feelings will be unique to you, but you'll get them in there in the depths of your belly, and you'll know a core feeling's different. Sometimes what happens with a core feeling is that we can't think greater than the feeling. I'm going to say that again. Let me know if this makes sense. And if any of you are experiencing this, then you'll know that you have a core feeling and it's not just a whisper. If any of you are having this feeling that just turns in the bottom of your stomach and stops you in your tracks, then you'll know that that's a core feeling. And what happens is when you get a core feeling, you can think beyond the feeling. So if the feeling is that you're a useless fucker, then you'll not be able to think greater than that feeling, because that feeling is wrecking it. So what happens is the feeling keeps you stuck and in the same thought process, and the thoughts churn over and over and over again. And if they say can't, or won't, then what happens is that they stop you then from living out the why and the what. Core feelings are stronger than whys. Core feelings will disrail a why like that. Doesn't matter how strong you feel about a what. Doesn't matter how much why's behind your what. A core feeling will absolutely, literally pull the plug from it. Why? Because core feelings at a feeling energetic level are so strong, and they will absolutely disrupt the why. Because the why is not strong enough. Does this make any sense? Does that make any sense? Please let me know if I've lost you. Because I know this stuff at quite an intricate level, and this was supposed to be light touch, but I wanted to show you some of it. Go and let me know, guys, if it's helpful, if you're understanding it, if I haven't gone too deep on you. Does it make sense? And is anybody experiencing that at the minute, experiencing that core stuff that they can't think greater than? And is that what's stopping them? Because it's really important to know that. Yeah, brilliant, Joanne, brilliant. So you're experiencing the core stuff that's stopping you. But look now where you are. You know, we're an hour and 15 in, and we're already seeing, is it the whispers or is it the that's very, very different. So now, basically then, we're able to distinguish between the whisper and the core, and then we know exactly where we are. Now the core, you'll need a good pair of hands for the core. The core is not as easily taken away, but I'll drop a video on there too for you. I must write these down so Lisa can drop these videos in. So a core video we need, and we need a managing emotions video. Yeah, Fidelma. Oh, Fidelma, we've had some journey with that core feeling, haven't we? How powerful is that? I know, it's massive. So that core feeling. So we want core feelings and limiting beliefs as a wee video dropped in. Brilliant, okay. They'll steer you in the right direction anyway, at least, alright? So, the how. We're still in the how. The practical how and the psychological how. So the psychological how is dealing with the whispers and dealing with Hyacinth, brilliant, and dealing with the whispers, and then dealing with listen to my throat, hope I'm not getting anything, dealing with the whispers and then dealing with the core. That's massive. So distinguishing between what you're dealing with and knowing how to get help and knowing when you need to get help is brilliant. Now the other thing that I would say is, look, when you're able to weather the feelings a wee bit better, and you're able to even identify that they're core, that will also help you separate them and not see them as strong. If anybody that has core, like Hyacinth and Alison, have you ever seen any of the work that I've done around core feelings or anything? You should go onto the site and have a wee deeper look at that, because that'll be really helpful for you. So, okay, so now we're there. Now the next and last thing that stops you, right, is and then after that there's 2 tips, and then we're good to go, right? So the last thing is self-sabotage, right? Is when you take 2 steps forward and 10 steps back, yeah? And is there anybody here self-sabotaging or feeling like they're self-sabotaging? Is there anybody here getting 2 steps forward and 10 steps back? Now, what I want you to do, if that is the case, I want you to check, is it just that your why is not big enough? Is it just that your why is not big enough? Is it just that your what's not strong enough at a feeling level? Is it just because the whispers say no to you? Because they will also bring you 2 steps forward and 10 steps back. If those things aren't right, then they will bring you back. So what I want you to check tonight is what is putting you forward and back, forward and back, forward. Is it the what? Is it the why? Or is it the limitations? So where are you? Now, what I want you to distinguish for me, and I'm going to keep this video in the group so you can watch away, you really can, you can watch away. What I want you to distinguish between me, where are you stuck, what's pulling you back, right? And is it the how, is it the what, is it the why, or is it the beliefs? And you'll be able to say. Now, self-sabotage, okay, is this, and it's different from what I've just pointed out. Self-sabotage is when you feel that getting your what will cause you problems. Okay? So self-sabotage is where you feel that if your dream comes true, there will be pain. Does that make sense? Self-sabotage is where you think that your dream will come true, it will cause you pain. Now, how does that work in reality? I'm going to give you loads of examples, alright? I'll give you a personal example. Part of why I was so hesitant in doing all of this is because I would be a different version of me than people knew. Like, I've actually got school friends in here who've known me from school. And I'm sure that when I started doing this, they were like, what? And that was a risk for me because it meant that people would see me different. It meant that people might talk about me. It meant that people might be, less than complimentary, which I am sure that has happened. And that was a risk. So doing this, so for me, what I wanted to do then was get everybody else to do it. I honestly went to some big players in Northern Ireland and got them all signed up to give me like information. It was until my aunt says, wise up. You cannot not share what you know. Yeah, there you are, Julie. It means you have to make a big decision. That's what real self-sabotage is. And for me, it was the fear of loss, the fear of being annihilated, the fear of being talked about, the fear of being in a difficult position, the fear. And the fear of loss in my sense of self. So I stopped myself and pulled myself a step forward and back and forward and back and forward. And that's what self-sabotage is. When you think that there's pain at the other end of this so-called dream, when there's any difficulty, what will the husband say? What will the friends say? And there's other stuff as well. If there's success, and I see this as well myself, sometimes people are funny about money, and when I say funny, they have beliefs around money that you can't take money for being of service, and that's not authentic, and that's not good to do, and that's money grabbing, and all of that stuff. And you have this business idea, and it's being of service to people, and maybe it's reflexology, or maybe it's tarot card reading. I don't know what it would be. That's there is, and if you can't take money for that, but you want to do that, if that's your belief, then by the time you get your what and your why and you're all aligned and you're delighted and you would love to be doing stuff that's authentic to you, and then you get to this place and you think, but it's not good to take money, and I'll be seen as A, B, C, D, or E, then you're right back. Absolutely right back. That is what they call self-sabotage. That's massive. So keep an eye out for that. That's very, very, very different from the previous stuff. So if there's any pain in the what, if there's any pain in the dream, that's massive. So Maria's saying fear of success, always somebody reminding you of where you're from. Yes, Maria, forget about that. Because all you're doing is being a version of yourself. And the best version of yourself, and the fear of them. I wonder, Maria, have you ever heard this? I'm not even going to go on this. Look, this is what happens, right? Have you ever heard of? I'm about to ask you a question. Have you ever heard of the Human Needs Psychology by Chloe Madonis? There's these kind of human needs. Some of us need love more than the rest. Some of us need significance more than the rest. Some of us need variety more than the rest. Blah blah blah. Whenever you need love and connection a lot, And if your success is going to create less love and connection, then that can be what they call a double bind. That'll pull you right back right away, because you'll not be willing to give up love and connection for the dream. You just won't, because the love is too great. I wonder, is that helpful? And I'm very sorry if it's not helpful and that I've come outside your frame of reference, Maria. I would never want to do that. But I just thought I would give that over for anybody else as an example of what it looks like to want something but then be afraid of getting it. Because that's what self-sabotage is. And it is mixed, it's what we call mixed associations in the game. It's, I want this, but it might create this, and then it creates nothing. So what I would like you to do, I would like you to check the story there with that self-sabotage. Is it your what that's not driving you? Is it your why that's not driving you? Is it your limitations that are not driving you? Or is it your self-sabotage? Already tonight, guys, you should know exactly what it is that's not driving you. Perfect. Okay, last but not least, 2, and the girls that are on the mentoring program will be saying, oh, Shauna, not again. We've done this last week. 2 things. Prepare the soil for greatness. Prepare the soil for greatness. You cannot get where you need to go hating where you are. Good, Michelle. See you tomorrow, or see you on Thursday for more of those light bulb moments. Yeah, self-sabotage, Sharon, brilliant. You cannot get where you're going hating where you are. You just can't. It just doesn't work. So, if you want to tap into your what, if you want to tap into your why, if you want to create the future you dreamed of, I'm going to give you 2 top tips to help create. All right, to help create the space that you need to, and I don't mean physical space, I mean the emotional space inside you to get going. The first tip that I have for you is to start gratitude for where you are. I need you to be grateful. I don't care where you are, I don't care how awful it is, I don't care how difficult it is. Find some level of gratitude for where you are. Some tiny flicker of light of gratitude for where you are. Now, I've had a very difficult childhood, so I find gratitude in that, and you can find gratitude in anything. I'm not saying that it makes all the pain go away. I'm just trying to give you a pivot. I'm just trying to move you forward, and this is the way that I know that you move forward. Find gratitude. Give me a heart if you can find gratitude, an ounce of gratitude for where you currently are in this moment. A tiny ounce. Give me a heart if you can find gratitude. In any form or any fashion for where you are. There we go. Brona, you need to hold on to this, right? I need you to be in gratitude, Brona, for where you are at the minute. Because it's in that space that we'll start to create greatness going forward. Because you can create nothing in a difficult space. Alright? So, tiny amount of gratitude. Don't care how tiny it is. And I want you to wake up every day in that gratitude. Every day in that gratitude of where you are. We have so much plans for the future. And what happens sometimes is I get caught in the plan. And what happens then is, because the plan hasn't manifested, because the plan's not here, because it's there, there's this kind of reaching feeling that goes on. Does that make sense to anybody? There's this, it's not there, it's lack, it's awful, it's not coming, it's not, how am I going to get there? This tension starts. It absolutely starts to pull. When you have a dream that you want, this tension starts to pull at you. Gratitude for where you are takes away that tension. So, gratitude for where you are. Practice it 3 or 4 times every day. But here's what I want you to sit alongside the gratitude. A plan for where you're going. And a belief that that plan's happening. Now, those 2 things sit together like a perfect combination. They sit together beautifully. Because one puts you in an energetic place It allows the what and the why to happen. Does that make sense? Give me a heart thumbs up if that makes sense. If you are in a good emotional space internally, then you will allow all of the what and the why to come. You'll allow the exploration of that. But see, if you're in that place, is there anybody in that place there? That place there? Oh, Leona's grateful her children are upstairs. Yeah, if I just explain what my husband's when after doing, he's whenever coming on the door, right? He's had to get keys from and crawling along the floor to get keys so that you wouldn't see him. So, and I'm surprised the dog and the weans aren't here, Leona. Yeah, does that make sense to you? Because see, when we're in that place there, nothing's happening, nothing's going fast enough, nothing's working, never going to get there. My God, the energy that is given to that, but it's a very hard balance. So the only thing that I know that takes that balance away is the gratitude for where you are, and the knowing from that place of gratitude, the possibilities. So work both those, and that creates the space that puts you into the what, that puts you into the why, that makes the how better. Yeah? And you clear your limiting beliefs and you keep going round the circle, because that's what this will be. And you keep moving and growing and moving and growing and learning and developing and moving and growing. And that is how you master any pillar that you want to change in your life. That's the process. Yeah? That's the full process in complete total. Does that make sense to anybody? After you're all laughing at my poor husband, he'd kill me for telling you that. Does that make sense? Tell me where you are. Is everybody gone quiet now? So tell me where you all are. Give me a thumbs, give me a heart. Tell me where you all are. Does that make sense to you? That last part of preparing yourself for greatness. See, you can't get round that circle if you're not. So tonight you just start in gratitude. If you leave this program tonight grateful, then I've done a good job. If you leave this program grateful and aligned with your gratitude, then what will happen is you'll just fall right on the high, you'll fall on the high, and the rest will make sense. And it's, for the girls, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. I'm delighted. Good. Yes, loads of nuggets, Alison. Good. Yeah, you have to prepare the soil. If you don't prepare the soil, yeah, you can use it for so many goals, Joanne. This is about mastering your life. You can use it for anything. Brilliant, Bruna. Brilliant. A lot of work to do. That's all right, Paul. Small incremental steps. That's absolutely all right. Okay, so if any of these, after that lovely hour and a bit, hour and 20 minutes, I've kept you all too long now. If any of these are wanting to continue this conversation, if you'd like to join me, then I would love, if you'd like me to mentor you, if you'd like me to sit alongside you, if you'd like me to be pulling at your what, to make sure your preparation is good, to be checking on with your what, making sure you're aligned. If you'd like me to check and along with that why, make sure you're aligned. And probably more importantly is that limitation piece, to take away those limitations and to take away that self-sabotage and to continually push you onto the next version of yourself. If you think that that's something that you would like, then I would be delighted, absolutely delighted to continue this journey. I will be delighted to be your mentor. I will be now, and I'm a wee bit of a workhorse. There's no kind of cutting corners, because this stuff's too important, and your life's too important, and your greatness is too important, and you can't keep it back. There's no hiding it anymore. So I would love to work with you. So basically at the moment we have a mentoring group, and this mentoring group meets every Thursday night, live together. It's a virtual classroom, so you're in your pajamas with a cup of tea at 9 o'clock at night, and so am I, and we do the work that is required. But prior to that, you get a lesson every Monday, a live lesson in a live Facebook group, and you get that lesson, and it's all connected to your what, your why, your how, the psychological change, all connected to that. And then I live coach you. So we're sitting in a room, like you'd be sitting in a 1-to-1, and I'm working with you on your blocks, and working with you on your limitations, and working with you on your self-sabotage, and releasing you every time. Releasing on one hand and pushing on the other towards your goals, towards the living of your real dreams, your greatness, and helping you, absolutely helping you become the best version of yourself. Now, along with this group, there is 2 free live events where we'll all get together in a physical space twice in 6 months. So we'll meet twice in 6 months all together, because what happens in these groups are they become such an integral part of your support network, because we know how difficult it is to get support outside. You know, our friends don't understand us, our families don't understand us, they don't understand where we're going, and this is really, really, really brilliant place. So what we've done is we've done 2 live events where everybody gets together and meets, and we have a great day session, a live session where I am working with these, but it's kind of a social thing as well. So that's alongside it. So just to recap, it's 2 free live events. It's the sessions, the Thursday session, and which is the live coaching session where I show up live, and then it's the lesson. All lessons are on the academy then, which is lifetime access. So you're just continually using this, you know, you can continually go through the system. The coaching is simply £59 for the month. That's all it is. And it's a 6-month coaching thing. So basically you could sign up now for £59 and you get your lesson tomorrow, and you'll join me to continue this conversation on Thursday night, and you'll enjoy the rest of the brilliant girls that are in there, and they're here actually tonight, and they'll tell you how brilliant it is. So if that is something that you like, if that is something, I'm going to put the link up, there's no link yet, but when I'm finished I'll put the link in for you. If that is something that you're excited about, if that is something that you think will be worth your while, if it's something that you would like to continue this conversation, and you'd like to continue to grow, and you'd like me to help you undo your blocks, me to help you do your self-sabotage, and for me to help push you, then join me and the rest of the girls. It would be fabulous to have you there. Yes, come join us, Joanne. I know. You see now why I punched on Joanne's message? Joanne's in the group, and I heard her say something, and I was thinking, oh, Joanne, now. So come join us in the group. It is, again, just to reiterate that price, it's £59 a month, not a lesson, not £59 a month. It's for nothing. That's for one lesson a week, and 1 live coaching a week, and your 2 masterclasses. It's for nothing. Join us and join a group of amazing people who are doing amazing things in this world. Yes, Karen, I know you're there. Yes, Leona, brilliant. So I will see you all on the inside if you want to get on the inside. And it's a 6-month commitment, and then it's we'll see where you are after 6 months. But a lot of work, a lot of work doing 6 months. Yes, Bruna. Get in, never mind, I'll see you on the inside. Has anybody any questions that they'd like to ask about it? Is there anybody any questions that they'd like? If they'd like me to run through anything more, if they'd like me to speak to any of the details anymore, then please stick your question up here now, and I'll answer all your questions, and we'll see where we go. No questions? You just let me talk for an hour and 20, but no questions. Bruna, I'll be excited to see you. Brilliance. Oh, Patricia, you can join anytime, absolutely. I'd love to see you in the new year. That would be a great thing. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. Is anybody any questions about the details? Anybody questions about what we went through? Anybody any questions about any of the stuff? Michelle, a great group and a bargain. No dates for the live events yet. We're just trying to get everybody together first. The first one, yes, will be in the new year, Karen. So the first event will be in the new year, and then the next one will be probably just before the Easter, which is April. I think it's 6 months, isn't it? So, okay, if nobody has any questions about the contents, Jacqueline, it's very, very, very different. I have an emotional eating group as well that I run, and I have other groups, and this is a very different group in that, see everything that I laid out, the how, the what, the why, and the tapping into the limitations. These limitations are wider than the other limitations, so they're kind of more generic limitations, and this is about kind of best foot forward. This is about preparation. This is about preparing you for the next stage in your life. This is about preparing you for your greatness. This is kind of the other group's an undoing thing, but this is a kind of a preparation for greatness and making sure that you're headed in that direction. So if any of these are, Eileen, don't worry about missing the start. You can listen to it all. Maria, I do offer one-to-one, but the reason that I start a group is because, would you believe, Maria, I have a waiting list until August next year, and there's over 40 people on the waiting list. Now, so it's colossal. It's just colossal. We're in the minute training people to go out and work the way I do, but that's not going to happen probably the next year in terms of their training. But at the minute, that's why I'm offering the group, so that I can at least get to work with you properly. But Maria, what I would say about the group work is that I don't miss a trick. You saw me there now with Joanne. If you're in the group and something massive comes up, then what happens is, say a core piece or something comes up, then what I would normally do if you're in group work, then you normally get up onto the waiting list a wee bit higher, obviously if I'm going to work with you at a group level. So hope that answers your question, Maria. If there's any more questions, just PM me and I'll try and answer them as best I can for you. Is everybody else happy enough? Any more questions? Anything they want to talk about? Anything that has come up for them this evening? No worries. No worries, Leona. I shall see you soon. Good. I'm glad it was of help, Leona. Brilliant. Okay, that looks like it's a wrap, guys. Hopefully. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Good night and enjoy the rest of your evening now. And good night. See you all soon. Take care. Bye for now.